We're told that history is written by the victors, and that it's a man's world. But what if the real stories are the ones buried deep in the footnotes? Stories about figures who didn't just break the rules, but laughed while doing it. This is one of those stories. It's about a woman who was a queen, a commander, and had the heart of a pirate. She was the one woman a king trusted to lead his navy, and a warrior so feared, the Greeks put a massive bounty on her head. But the most legendary thing she ever did, it was ramming her own allies just to survive. This is the true story of Artemisia, the queen who humiliated Greece. The year is 480 BCE. The Persian Empire, the biggest the world had ever seen, is on the march. Its king, Xerxes I, has a truly terrifying army and a fleet of over 1,000 warships. His target, the defiant, quarreling city-states of Greece. This wasn't just war, it was personal. 10 years earlier, Xerxes' father, Darius, had been famously humiliated by the Athenians at the Battle of Marathon. Now, Xerxes was back to finish the job. He planned to burn Athens to the ground and bring all of Greece to its knees. His army was a tide of humanity flooding into Europe, and his navy was meant to be its unstoppable weapon. The Greek city-states, who were usually busy fighting each other, now faced a simple choice: unite or be destroyed. Athens and its mighty navy, along with Sparta and its legendary soldiers, became the core of a desperate resistance. But as the Persian war machine drew closer, things looked grim. And among the thousands of commanders in that massive Persian fleet, one name stood out. Not because he was a fearsome warrior, but because Aisha wasn't a man at all. Her name was Artemisia, the queen of Halicarnassus, a Greek city that was under Persian rule. And she hadn't come to this war because she had to. She was there, as one historian put it, out of sheer, high-hearted valor. She didn't just send ships. She came herself, commanding 5 of the most formidable vessels in the entire Persian fleet. For the Greeks, this was more than just a threat. It was an insult. A woman leading men into battle against them was completely intolerable. They were so outraged that they put a bounty on her head. 10,000 drachmas for anyone who could capture her alive, a king's ransom in the ancient world. They probably thought it would scare her. They were wrong. It just made her more dangerous. So who was this woman who so thoroughly rattled the masters of the ancient world? Artemisia was born into a world of contradictions. She ruled Halicarnassus, a Greek city on the coast of modern-day Turkey, but she was a subject of the Persian Empire, with a Carian father and a Greek mother. This mixed heritage gave her a unique ability to navigate the tangled politics of a region caught between 2 superpowers. When her husband died, she didn't just step aside for her son. She took the throne herself, ruling as queen. But she wasn't some quiet regent. Artemisia was drawn to the sea, to strategy, and to power. She was a product of Caria, a region with a long and infamous history of piracy, and she had learned its lessons well. Ancient writers describe her as a brilliant tactician with a pirate's cunning. The historian Polyaenus tells a story of how she'd fly 2 different sets of flags. When chasing a Greek ship, she'd fly Persian colors. But if a Greek ship was chasing her, she'd hoist a Greek flag, sowing just enough confusion to escape or even turn the tables. It was this ruthless, practical mindset that would define her career. So when Xerxes called on his allies, Artemisia answered. Her 5 ships were said to be the finest in the fleet, second only in reputation to the legendary ships of Sidon. The historian Herodotus, who was actually from her home city, wrote of his utter amazement that a woman should have gone with the armament against Greece. In a world run by men, she wasn't just showing up. She was leading from the front, and the King of Kings himself was about to find out just how valuable she really was. Right before the decisive battle at Salamis, Xerxes held a war council. The Persian navy had the Greeks cornered in a narrow strait. On paper, victory looked certain. The king was eager to attack, and one by one, his commanders told him exactly what he wanted to hear. Attack. Crush them with our numbers. And then came Artemisia. She was the only one who disagreed. Standing before the most powerful man in the world, surrounded by men who hated her influence, she laid out a brilliant and brutally logical argument. "Don't risk the fleet," she said. "If you rush into a sea battle," she warned, "I'm afraid the fleet's defeat will bring down the land army as well." Her plan was as simple as it was genius. Do nothing. Just wait. The Greek alliance, she argued, was fragile. They were trapped in a tight space with dwindling supplies. If the Persian fleet simply blockaded them, they'd start to argue, lose hope, and eventually scatter. Then, Xerxes' unstoppable army could pick them off city by city. She finished with a sharp jab at the king's other allies, dismissing them as bad slaves who were useless in a real fight. It was an incredibly bold and incredibly risky thing to say. Her friends were terrified the king would have her executed. Her rivals were thrilled, sure that her arrogance would finally be her downfall. But Xerxes listened. According to Herodotus, he was deeply impressed. He already thought highly of Artemisia, but her clear-eyed strategy elevated her even further, and yet he ignored her. Persuaded by the overwhelming majority, Xerxes gave the order to attack. It was a decision that would trigger one of the greatest naval disasters in history. Artemisia's story is one of those hidden gems of history that we love to uncover. If you agree, and you want to hear more tales of forgotten figures who changed the world, take a second to subscribe and click the bell icon. Your support helps us bring these incredible stories to light. The Battle of Salamis was a trap. The Greeks had masterfully lured the massive Persian fleet into the narrow straits, where their numbers became a fatal weakness. The huge Persian ships couldn't maneuver. They crashed into each other in the chaos while smaller, nimbler Greek triremes rode circles around them, ramming them to pieces. From a golden throne set up on a nearby hillside, Xerxes watched it all unfold. He was expecting a glorious victory. Instead, he was watching his navy get systematically destroyed. It was a total massacre, and then, through all the chaos, he saw it. One of his ships performing an act of shocking, brilliant brutality. It was Artemisia. Her ship was being hunted by an Athenian vessel, closing in fast for the kill and the huge bounty. She was cornered, her escape blocked by a tangled mess of friendly Persian ships. For anyone else, this was the end. But Artemisia was a survivor. She saw only one way out. She gave a stunning order, turn and ram the allied ship right in front of them. Her target was a ship from Kalindos, commanded by a king with whom she had quarreled. With a sickening crunch of splintering wood, her trireme smashed into the friendly vessel and sent it straight to the bottom of the sea. The effect was immediate. The Athenian captain hunting her saw her sink what he assumed was an enemy ship. Thinking she was either a Greek vessel or a Persian defector, he immediately broke off and went to find another target. Artemisia had saved herself with an act of breathtaking ruthlessness, but the deception didn't stop there. Watching from the shore, Xerxes saw the whole thing. In the confusion of battle, he and his advisors were sure she had just sunk an enemy ship. An aide reportedly shouted, "Master, do you see Artemisia, how well she is fighting? She has sunk an enemy ship." Seeing this one act of perceived skill amidst the cowardice and failure of his other commanders, Xerxes uttered the immortal line that would seal her legend. "My men have become women, and my women, men." In the middle of his most humiliating defeat, one person had earned his total respect. The very person who told him this would happen. Salamis was a catastrophe for Persia. With his fleet shattered, Xerxes' massive army was now vulnerable, panicked. The king once again summoned his most trusted advisor, Artemisia. He asked her what to do. Should he stay and lead the army himself, or should he retreat to Persia and leave his general Mardonius to continue the war? Once again, Artemisia gave him brutally honest and politically perfect advice. Go back to Persia, she told him. Leave Mardonius with the troops. If he succeeds, she argued, the honor will still be yours because your slave did it. But if he fails, well, who cares? He's just a slave. You and the heart of the empire will be safe. It was the perfect excuse, allowing the king to retreat without losing face. This time, Xerxes listened. He went back to Asia and gave Artemisia the high-stakes job of escorting his illegitimate sons to safety. Just as she had predicted, Mardonius was defeated and killed the next year. After this, Artemisia's story fades from the historical record. Her ultimate fate is a mystery. Much later, romantic legend claims she fell hopelessly in love and threw herself from a cliff. A dramatic ending that most historians agree sounds nothing like the pragmatic survivor we know. What we do know is that her legacy was set in stone. In Greece, she was remembered as a pirate, a traitor, an enemy who broke all the rules, but even they couldn't deny her skill. One ancient writer, Pausanias, even suggests the Spartans immortalized her with a statue. Placing it among the figures of their defeated Persian enemies, Artemisia of Caria wasn't a hero. She was a brilliant opportunist who fought for an invading empire and sank her own allies to survive. But she was also a fearless leader and a master strategist who commanded respect in a world designed to ignore her. She humiliated the Greeks not just with the ram of her ship, but with her mind, proving that in the game of empires, the sharpest weapon of all is intellect. Artemisia's story really makes you wonder, what makes someone a great historical figure? Is it their morality? Or is it their sheer will to win against impossible odds? Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you want to uncover more lost stories of warrior queens and forgotten figures, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out our playlist on the most incredible women in history. We'll see you in the next one.